Hi everyone, very happy to see all of you here today. So I am one of the proud co-founder of SportsTech Belgium representing California, and I'm also the proud host of the next panel. We will discuss about investing in sports tech, and I'm very happy to welcome on stage Xavier Peters, fund manager at Nutshak and Lean Square. Xavier, come on stage, please. Alex Chalmers, managing partner at Stadia Ventures. Alexandre Candelaft, CMO at La Source. Amir Ravi, CEO and founder at Hype Sports Innovation, and I think he's still on the traffic jam, so he will join us a little bit later. Azwin, you are with us. Azwin Steinhoff, co-founder at Sports Plus Vitality. Guys, please take a seat and a mic, and we will begin. So first of all, thank you very much for being with us. When we speak about hub innovation ecosystem, an ecosystem represents many different kinds of structured partners, and investors and VCs are part of it, like federations, clubs, sportsmen, sportswomen, academics, universities. So for us, it was really important to gather on stage some VCs to discuss why they are investing in sports tech today. So first question, guys, very easy, 30 seconds, 1 minute maximum. Could you please introduce yourself and what you're doing? Amir, please.
Can you hear me? Hi, great to be here. Amir, Hype Sports Innovation. I'm the CEO and founder. Hype is the platform of managing over 250 startups where we have equity in. We invest in equity sweat and also invest in dollars or euros. And we also serve about 100 brands in their innovation journey.
Thank you, Amir. Azwin?
Hi, Aswin Steenhoff from the Netherlands, co-founder of Sports and Vitality. We connect and inspire all professionals around the world in sports and vitality to help them to grow and to make impact and to create together a vital society. And we invest in companies to help them and to give a positive contribution of the vital society.
Same question, Alexandre.
Hello, everyone. I'm Alexander Canlaft, head of marketing at La Source. So La Source is a French agency specialized in digital and new technologies. And what we do is mainly helping the most promising startups to penetrate the European sports industry. So we help them in terms of business intelligence, business development, investment strategy, and also brand positioning.
Thank you, Alex.
Yeah, hi, I'm Alex Chalmers, one of the managing partners at Stadia Ventures. We are the nexus of sport, investment, and innovation. So a community of exceptional entrepreneurs, industry partners, and investors that are trying to create a sustainable transformation in the world of sports and esports.
And last but not least.
So Xavier, I'm fund manager in Lean Square. Lean Square is an investment fund based in Liège with a lot of different strategy of investment, but one of them is the entertainment tech, and especially with music tech and sport tech. And we are partner of California Music Tech.
Okay, guys, next question. Easy, why investing in sports tech? Amir, you have the first.
Sure.
You are the first.
Anything interesting? You mean in terms of trends? What was the question again?
Why investing in sports tech?
What?
Why investing in sports
why
tech?
investing in sports tech?
Sorry.
Look, if you look at, no, all good. Investing, for me, I was a very mediocre football player in Israel, but the passion is sports and innovation, and I was told, from an early age, that you need to look for places where there is a gap, where there are pains. And in sports in general, in the last few years, there is tons of gaps between what is the current situation is and what it could be. Yeah? For example, I've been invited to one of the Premier League teams 2 years ago, and the chairman of the club told me that they still do not have a Wi-Fi because they do not want to interrupt the fans watching the game. Yeah? This still happens, by the way, also in the Premier League. So there is tons of opportunities in sports tech. And it's the most exciting place to be for me.
Okay, thank you, Amir. Azwin, same question?
Why? Because we want to contribute in a positive way to help people through sports to become more vital. And it grows about 2014 when I started as the first innovation manager in Eindhoven, FC Eindhoven, a professional football club. So we all are passionate about sports, vitality, technology and innovation and help others to grow their own business. And then we grow by ourselves as well.
Alexandre?
Yeah, I think well, figures speaks for themselves. We saw them before, back in 10 years ago. It was only maybe $1 billion invested in sports tech. Right now, it's 10 billions per year. I think we broke a record last year, so it really shows that there is an interest. And yeah, as you already said, sports gathers very large audience. It's an important part in our society. So yeah, it's really interesting as an investors to look at those kind of new solutions to improve the game.
Alex?
Yeah, I think Roberto said something that really hits home to everyone, which is this thought of too many teams, leagues, brands, federations within the sports have to be reactive to innovation. And the reality is because they either don't have the capacity, bandwidth, or team to be able to help them looking at new technology. And the reality is that teams now are wanting to and striving to be proactive. And to be proactive, they have to invest in technology. They have to invest in innovation. And I think the other thing from a sports perspective is that sports hits every facet of life. I mean, human performance is healthcare and med tech. You can have fan engagement that can be focused to music tech, to venues, to everything to smart stadiums. So I think this question of why sports tech is that it is so applicable across multiple industries, and that's why it's so fascinating.
Okay, and Xavier?
We began 6 years ago with the music area because we were investing in tech and innovation, and also we wanted to have fun in our job. And so as fan music, we decided to go to this area. After we decided to increase our scope in this area and to go globally in the entertainment tech, and as the presentation of Nicolas, the figures are huge in this area. The need of innovation and technology are huge also, and we have a connection between what we are doing in music tech and sport tech. So that's why we decided 2 years ago to go in this area.
So thank you, Xavier. Next question for you. Any current focus in sports business?
Again, like Nicolas said, I mean, we are really focused on the smart place, on healthcare too, the performance of the people, and the data management, and what we can do with the innovation and the data, as Roberto presented to just before. I mean, there is a lot of in the sport tech. It's just not a question of technology and innovation. It's a human question also, but the tech is in place to help the human to go and to grow. And so yeah, maybe some kind of area.
Alex?
Yeah, to your point, I mean, there's a reason why we like each other as well. Is that it's the reality of, you know, it's also investing in good people. I mean, that's what it is for us. It's not, there isn't a focus area. It's, right, can we find some good entrepreneurs? Can we ourselves, from our network, from our ecosystem, actually strive to help them? And the reality of, look, there is so many, look, every single deck that we now see has got an NFT page. That's fantastic. That's great to see. But the reality is that we are very holistic view of sport. We look at everything from skateboard tech to AR, VR to human performance to wearables to anything. So, but the reality is always comes back to, is it a good founder? Is it someone we feel like we can help?
We have a panel this afternoon around NFTs with Amir, and and Manu, so we'll have more details about this field just later. Same question for you, Alexandre.
Yeah, well, if I'm taking the sports organization side of things, like the main focus right now in the ecosystem, I think it's based on two silos, I would say. The first one around its legacy, so all related to the traditional business model, and the traditional revenue streams. So everything related to media rights, merchandising, sponsoring, and I think in that field, a lot of technologies and new startups are quite interesting to work with from those right holders to maximize those existing revenues. And on the other side, like it's more about the diversification of the brand, I would say, and new revenue streams. So I'm really talking about from the sports organization point of view. And so, yeah, this diversification of the brand, like we mentioned it with NFT and the Web3 revolution. So new products emerging, new startups are emerging, and really they can really help like those sports organizations to create new business model, create new revenue streams. And so for me, that's the two main focus area focus right now as a sports organization.
Aswin?
Yeah, our focus is now more fan engagement, esports, gaming. Then you see all data performance technology. But when you look at the trends, and we talk next question, I think, I would think there will be a change because everybody is talking about sports tech and data performance. So we are looking more like data performance for professional teams or sports. And besides that, the fan engagement. And there are a lot of now solutions about that. But also agreed with Alex, the team is more important. The software, the scalability is more important. Who owns the IP? Yeah, that's important. But we're not investing in hardware. Only software, so that will be easier to scale.
Okay, thanks. Amir?
I think as the panel showed, there are tons of opportunities now in sports tech, and you shared some of the opportunities. We divide them usually to on the pitch, everything to do with performance and what's happening on the pitch, and it was really inspiring to hear Roberto before and how serious they approach this and how widely they use it. Imagine that you mentioned somebody standing with Oculus on the pitch, and FIFA, I don't know why they banned it, but could be quite a breakthrough to see that. And they're on the pitch and off the pitch, all the experience around fans and in the stadium, at home, tons of opportunities. After I sold my company about 20 years ago in London and I started investing, I did my share of mistakes, and I skipped some of the best investments, and I invested in crappy startups, and that's the life of an investor as well, But what we've done differently, it took us, I would say, too long, is to reverse it. We call it reverse pitching. We invite the brands to say to us what they're looking for. So we're not choosing startups anymore. We're just making the shortlist. We let the brands, the clubs, the federations that work with us to tell us what they need. They pitch to our startups what they really need, and then they catch me outside of this pitching and they say, Amir, I'm also bleeding from the OTT side. Can you help me there? And then we found the solution which are really tailor-made for them. And for us, if you ask me what are the hottest trends or where the industry is going, everywhere, they say in Tel Aviv, when you throw a stone, you hit 3 entrepreneurs, The same with the opportunities coming up now in terms of sports tech. But for us, we listen to the brands, to the clubs, the federation, and we find those solutions to fit what they're looking for. Last year, we've implemented about 50 startups with projects, commercial agreements with brands. This is for us the validation we need to continue and invest in those startups.
Thank you, Rami. I can be more agree than you. That's why it was important for us when we created SportsTech Belgium to have around the table guys like RBFA, EVS, Agoria, the Federation, Technology Federation, and us as more innovation partner, because it's by working with those guys that we know in which startup is important to invest in. Amir, we already have a part of the answer, but when you decide to invest in a startup, what are your key criteria?
Again, we all learn from our past, at least that's the idea. And for us, the revolution was to do a proper validation. You ask me what am I looking for in terms of startup? Startup can come and do a great show and great presentation, and we can do a bit due diligence. But it's nothing like seeing the startups actually implementing a project with this federation, or with Manchester United, or with an NBA team or NFL team. So for us, we first would like to see the team, how it's performing, how it's dealing with bumps, with problems. And then we look at the strength of the team on field. And if this is happening and there is success there, we look to continue to do a follow-up investment later on through the GVA program, which is the Hype main platform.
Thank you, Amir. Azwin?
Yeah, it's almost the same. Everybody will tell you about the team readiness. Team is the most important thing, I think. It can break or not. Then we look at the market readiness level, and besides that is your product readiness level. And then, within the answers of that 3 levels, you get everything you need.
Alexandre?
Yes. Well, if we go beyond the product, the value proposition, of course, the founding team is very, very important to us. Like, we're working currently with helping 5 startups to penetrate the European market, and we always make great importance to the team and their ability to, because at the end, you can create a great product, but it's the founding team, the founders, that will take it to the next level. So they will need to have the right skills in terms technical or leadership, and so this is very, very important for us. And another criteria we are looking for, really, it's the scalability of the solution and the ability to tap into other industries. Right now, we are mainly focused in sports, of course, but if you see other opportunities in other industries, you know that the product and the startup will have great traction and more success. So this is what we are doing right now. We see some very young startups trying to penetrate sports, but some more mature, they already have a lot of clients in sports, and they know that they can tap into new industries. So they're trying to reach out e-commerce brands, fintech brands, etc. And for me, that's for us at Last Words, that's a very important criteria.
Alex?
Yeah, we have 2 direct sort of methods of investing. One on a direct investment level, but those typically are later stage companies in sort of B, C, D round organizations, and then our accelerator. And our accelerator is focused on investing in companies that are pre-seed, seed stage, but they've got a traction or product in market. And typically that is sort of driving some revenue, but I think the value is this, it's been spoken about here as well, this crowdsourced due diligence that you do of, right, how can you validate your own decision of making an investment based off the individuals from your network that are going to rely on giving you that information on, okay, can this be validated? Can this scale? Can this pivot? Can this sort of build traction? But I think also, pardon my language, but we have a no arsehole policy at Stadia. And again, it comes back to this view of, right, the viewpoint of are we going to make an investment is based on, right, do we like the individual? Do we like the team? Do we feel like we can help that team? And then, is their tech right? Can we validate it? Can we help it? Can they scale? Can they pivot? And there's 7, 8, 10 levels of due diligence that we'll sort of go through to. But again, the basic is, we can best help companies through our accelerator. And then that is that pre-seed seed stage typically of company that we're investing in.
Xavier, sorry, it's always complicated to answer this question. The last, do you have something to add?
No, nothing. I mean, investing is a human adventure. So the first criteria is the team, to be sure that we see the same thing in the same line, in the same way, in the good of the company. And I mean, we have already refused an investment, a good company and a good product, a good innovation, because we have no match with the team. And so it's better to invest in a good team, because we will be sure that the right decision will be taken in the right time. And that's why the being partner of California is really important for us, because it ensures us a good deal flow, and we can taste the startup and the team during the acceleration program, to be sure that if we want to invest in it, we are sure that we will have a good match with them. After, it's always the same criteria: the traction, the product, the innovation. But yeah, investing is a human adventure, so the team is really important.
Thank you. How would you recommend founders to contact you?
Two ways. When they need money, but not too late. I mean, we received too many startups and too many founders who say, okay, we have a good opportunity for you. You have to close in 2 weeks, blah, blah, blah. So it's impossible for us, because we, as a VC, as an investor, we want to make a due diligence and to taste the team, as we said just before. So when they need money and when they are ready to raise money. And sometimes it's good also to go and to speak with an investor, like today, when you don't need money, just to be on the scope, just to present you and to prepare the next meeting with the VC when you will need money. And it's the possibility for the VC to check the evolution of the startup between the first investment without any need of money and during the meeting with the money. So yeah, 2 ways, but not too late, please.
It's also one of the objectives for our accelerator, where knowing better how the innovation is working in the sport industry, but also how to discuss before, during, and after fundraising. Alex, same question.
Yeah, and look, obviously from SportsTech Belgium perspective, you're running a program once a year. I mean, for us, we run a program twice a year. So we open 2 applications, one open now and then one open again in sort of March. And so we speak to 800 to 1,000 startups a calendar year, but we're driving them to apply into our program, basically because it's a test of, right, actually, can they fill in our application in the right way? I mean, everything is a test. Everything is due diligence. Are they filling in the right information? Are they giving the right details of their traction, of their product fit, of everything of their team? So, again, to Javier's point, companies will reach out all the time. A lot of them will also think that they don't need help from an accelerator. And I think that, there's a sort of a difficulty of that word, of the incubator accelerator word, of a lot of companies that are sort of driving and getting good traction, who think they're sort of past the point of the need of a program like yours and ours and others. And I think when you realize that, look, sort of for us, the accelerator is not focused on, they're not actually coming in needing the money necessarily. They're actually needing the programming, they're needing the support, they're needing the ability to connect and build and relate to the other founders that are in the program, and hearing stories of sort of the challenges that they're all going through. But there is, any time is a good time to be connected to them. I mean, we try and build those relationships and keep sort of conversations driving and going, but we funnel them into 2 parts in a year that we can better manage, because otherwise it's impossible to, you do lose some. I mean, to Javier's point as well, there will be times where companies will, the timing is not quite right, or things that happen. But for us, if we're running it twice a year, there's always a next time, there's always a next application. And so we're continually keeping those conversations going, because again, the traction could build, they could fall off, a cliff from their overall burn rate or different things. But so always happy to sort of have conversations with founders, and then maintain those conversations as much as we can.
And guys, as our founders, they are with us all the day, so do not hesitate to offer those guys afternoon a very good Belgian beer. Question for you, same question for you, Alexander.
Well, tough question for me. I'm head of marketing, so I've not been contacted a lot to invest in startup. But I would maybe focus on the how and on the startup side, because this is what we do at our source, helping really the startups to prepare their next fundraise. And I think the how is very important. The preparation and the research that a startup has to do before the reach out, before reaching out to investors, to VCs, etc. Need to make sure that you're targeting the right ones, that there is like looking the portfolio of each investors, also see if there is not a conflict of interest. So it's all about like maximizing the timing, not to, because I know that you can reach out to many investors, many VCs, not have answers, etc. Because I suppose they're receiving a lot of decks, pitch decks, etc. to review. So for me, personalization, tailor-made approach when you're startups looking to fundraise is very, very important. And I think for the timing, you already mentioned it, but I think maybe in time of economic uncertainty, such as right now, might be a bit more complicated. And I would wait if I was a startup, and even if I have the ability to manage my cost and my burn. So yeah, that's what I would recommend for startups.
Sweden?
Same question? Yeah, you can reach out every time you want. Because in the first conversation, we start asking you a lot of questions about your readiness level. Is your team ready? Is your product ready? Is it only a concept or idea? How far? What kind of needs do you have? And then we can help you to reach out the right partner within our community. And yeah, it starts with an idea, but also next week I have nobody. I don't know him. He wants to talk about food. I don't know nothing about food, but it's a part of Vitality. Is it a technology? Within the first 30 minutes, we know a lot about your idea, your product, and what your needs are. And then we can reach out to help you, or to create the right investment deck, or pitch deck, or mentor, or coach, or money. What kind of money, what kind of investor do you want, or what kind of accelerator do you want to approach? Because there are different types of accelerators already here on the stage. So reach out and we can help you, maybe. And if we can't help you, one of our partners around the world can help you for sure to build up your business.
Thank you. Amir?
Yeah, I think there is a, if I'm a startup sitting here, how many startups are here, by the way? All right.
Amir, your mic.
Your mic.
Ah, okay. With my voice, probably I don't need it, yeah. I think that there is a nice complementary here of services for any startup, because startups, in the end of the day, if you ask startup what they want, they say we want money and we want strategic partners, or get to the big names, the brands. They also need some kind of acceleration program, although they usually will say they don't, because of the mentorship, because of the knowledge and the different resources that are there, which are amazing. I think everything is here. If you approach us, we will complement what you get here. By the way, we have startups which are part of the GVA, which are also doing, working with other accelerators, yeah? Because we provide the pitching to the brands. We have about 50 brands now doing reverse pitching to the startups from now till end of January. 50 top brands like Cisco, NFL, you name it. They're talking to the startup. It's a closed session, telling them what they need. So this could be, I would say, so approaching, you can approach me here on LinkedIn any way you want, and there is an application to the GVA, and we are not missing good startups, at least to allow you to pitch to the brands.
Thank you. Last question for all of you. What is, according to you, the next big thing, so the next big innovation in sports? Amir.
Let me think about it.
Okay.
Leave me later.
Azwin?
I think the next big thing is a reality. They call it extended reality. It's a combination of AR, VR, and how do you say that? I think that the move to the reality, virtual reality within metaverse. I think when you look at the membership for a club now, it's only a physical base. But in the future, you can also sell membership for a virtual membership to be in a stadium or at the press conference via virtual. That's one thing. Then I think we talk about wearables to measure performance on the pitch or at home. I think the combination now will be nanotechnology within the body technology and measure the body of performance, sports or rest or something like that.
Alex?
Yeah, look, I think something that we've also sort of not overly mentioned much on this panel today, look, we're also very focused on minority diverse founders, female founders, minority founders as well. We're blessed that we've kind of, out of 70 companies that we've invested in, we've had 45% female or minority founded companies. I think there's a huge push towards women's sports now that we're particularly focusing on. We're being sort of part of some events next year focused on women in sports and then female-led companies within sports. Around sort of everything else, yeah, I think there, you know, we've seen huge shift of okay, the wearable space, the wearable devices that were coming on the scene 10 years ago was this huge push, sort of maybe 5 years ago. Now it's sort of less on wearables and more on the algorithms and data that you're building within the wearables. There's huge drive across all sport, but I think the areas of focus we have is continuing to find good founders, continuing to find good people, and sport continues to evolve. And as Roberto said as well, that if teams and federations are again having that better ability to be proactive, it means there's just more opportunity for different types of technologies to take place.
Thank you, Xavier.
Maybe two. First, as we already said, the healthcare and the medtech in sport, and for sure, when we regard all the investment for the people in the sport, so I mean, we really focus on the medtech and the fan engagement. And in the fan engagement, I put the RVR and all the technology you can involve to be sure that you're a fan and you have an engagement of your fan.
Alexandre?
I will also mention sustainability as the next big thing because of the reason we all know. But more complicated, I think, to create business model around that. In terms of new technology, I think everything has been mentioned already. And for the topics, I see more a combination of like fan engagement, also smart venue. It's an important topic because we know that a lot of people are more and more watching sports from TV, but when you go to the stadium, the ease of movement inside, how do you get your food, how do you park your car, etc. I mean, it's already existing. We have already seen a lot of things in that space, but I think that with artificial intelligence, machine learning, and all those kind of new things, well, it's not really new, but it's still improving. We can develop new, very interesting things for stadiums.
I can be more agree with you around sustainability. We have a panel on this afternoon with Ryan McCumber, so do not hesitate to check all the innovation on this one. Amir, last but not least.
Just without needing to add to what you said, which is, I think, you mentioned most of the topics or the verticals, trends that are here. But if we look at the macro level, as we see, there is a big movement now around creation, the creation economy, and the content creation. This is also added up to a community economy. So by communities, we are creating value, meaningful communities. And I believe we will discuss it also in the afternoon in the panel we have on NFTs. How do we create a meaningful community? Each one of us, in the end of the day, is in the business of creating meaningful community, wherever you are. Yeah. How do you do that, and how you see the opportunities around that in terms of sports? Yeah, I think there is tons of value there and tons of places we as an investors can focus on.
Thank you, guys. Amir, Azwin, Alexandre, Alex, Xavier, thank you very much for being with us, and see you later. Thank you.
Okay.